Three, two, one. I don't think we're going to be able to get through this, to tell you the truth. This is, we've already been just like a couple of little giggle girls here. So look.
But it's Friday, Brent.
I know.
Friday.
We've referenced Mrs. Doubtfire, Robin Williams, and Kovacs, you wicked, wicked little monkey. I think we better get to it. Because I got a call. I got a little call I got to make here in about 10 minutes. So,
right.
Guys, thank you for hanging out with us today. Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. Brent Abel here with my wicked, wicked little man over there, Jeff Jacklich. And we're trying to help tennis players. And today I think we got something kind of cool for you. We got a great email yesterday from one of our students. And it's interesting because we had not heard from this guy for, a month? And
wow, yeah, been a while.
It had been about a month. And so kind of give the recap, Jeff, because I think what he went through after our coaching call is probably what most players is probably the reality of what most players will have to go through.
Right.
In terms of eventually getting the ultimate result. That's kind of hypey, but getting the roles, getting the result that they want. And so I've just teed you up and let her rip.
Yeah. So we worked with him about his brand and using the forehand slice a little bit. He's in the 65s, and just a lot of what seemingly is basic ideas, but it just really helped kind of get him corralled. But it took him a month for him to come to that realization about corralling all of his skill sets. And so he went through about 4 weeks of he said he lost 3 of his next 4 tournament matches, and he was really frustrated. And then after the match, he finally, after his last match, he decided to really get prioritized with what we had done in the webinar and things. And so he started improving his fitness, and he's seeing improvements there. We went through some stuff about how to get some more racket head speed on the serve, so that's becoming more effective, and more spin. So he's there's no more double faults, and making his opponent, using the idea of the all court player. That's not just for you, but it's also for your opponent, to make them visit all 4 quadrants of the court. So these are the things he went through and systematically, and he just emailed us. And so it's really exciting to see somebody that really kind of, we talk about Shawshank all day, every day. And basically that's what he did. He went through the sewer the first 4 weeks, and we had talked about it in his webinar, saying, when you start to make these kinds of changes and things, timing, things are going to go in the dumper when it comes to competition for a while, and that while is an intangible. You can't actually nail down like, it's going to be exactly this much time.
Right. Right.
And so, he really started using the patterns we worked on and that. And so he won, this last weekend, he won the 65 Southwest Indoors in Santa Fe.
Yeah. No. Well, I think for me, it's well, go ahead, finish up.
So and then he describes what happened in those 2 matches, the semis and finals.
That's right.
Where he got to match point. Actually, well, before that, he got clarity before he even played the tournament. Journeyman tennis, make the shot, apply pressure, and make him come up with the goods.
Yeah. And
then the opponent is human too. In this case, he probably can't see either indoors.
It was a little, that's right. It's a little rough.
So this and that goes back to what we just did a few episodes ago about, are you fighting the variables that we walk into, wind, indoor, bad lighting, all those things, or are you going to work with it? Are you just going to understand it and now let's move through it, right? So he did that, and so when he got to match point in the semis, he says. He hit a high kick backhand in the ad court, He got a mid-court return and hit a solid slice forehand to the other side that didn't come back. Right,
that didn't come back.
That didn't come back.
Right.
Right, and in the finals, he says, I served body, approached right at him, and then stuck 2 volleys to the middle third of the court. He missed on the second one, and then he put in parentheses, let him touch the ball. So it's really exciting to see that these guys, especially, the student that he actually applied it. He went through it to actually test it. Yeah. And then see that, okay, there's something going on here that needs my attention. Yeah. And so it's just exciting to see that, he walked through the veil, and it's a hard journey because you got to force yourself to do it, and he did it. So it's really
look,
exciting.
I mean, 30 days out of someone's life, jeepers. This isn't like we're not talking about something in 2027. We're talking about we're talking about 30 days. Some players have epiphanies, aha moments right off the bat, and they realize, well, wait a minute, all right, now the work begins. I've now got the epiphany. I clearly, crystal clear, see what I've got to do, and they go to work on it. Excuse me. Other guys like this guy. It may take a little bit longer in terms of kind of fighting a little bit of what we've given him or what we've given her. And I'm not saying this was his case, but a lot of players kind of go, they're a little standoffish with, I'm giving you the keys to the kingdom. It's one thing to stick the key in there, and it's another thing to turn it. It's another thing to look inside. And then it's another thing to actually go ahead and and sort of walk over the threshold and start doing the work. And so I guess that, just like you said in the beginning, there's no defined timeline on any of this stuff, any of it.
Right.
And you just have to stick with it. And I think that.
So he even says in the beginning, that it says, after the webinar, I went through a 4-week period of confusion and poor tournament results. But you had said, we told him this is going to happen, right?
Yeah, but a lot of people don't believe that, Jeff. A lot of people.
Right, but he says, he's going to say, so I didn't freak out. Wow. He trusted that statement that we made. Good. So I didn't freak out.
That's great.
And then when he went through the last match, his frustration, he says he actually looked up at the sky after the last match and said, what am I supposed to be doing? And so after that match, he really got focused on prioritizing through what we had given him. And that's when he got back. He got down to business. That was like the wake-up call to get organized and really focus on what we had done in the webinar. And now the results speak for themselves, So it's really important that,
well, look, and I think we talked about this. We talked about this a couple of days ago about kind of finding that one thing technique-wise that really is kind of the big domino. We talked about my forehand and trying to just get out to the ball sooner. But I think it's kind of the same thing here with him. Is he did say, look, what I did is I decided to really get serious about the kitchen. I lost some weight.
Right.
And that may be the thing. That may be the commitment. Because sometimes I think with this coaching, is it all on paper? Man, guys, you guys have laid this thing out for me. You've identified what my personal brand ought to be as a player. You've given me a nice set of plays as a customized playbook. I get it. But until you take that first step and really commit, and maybe you do some things that are uncomfortable, and it might have been that it just was, you know what? I got to drop some weight, man. I just got to drop some weight. And that was the thing that jump-started all the other little things. So who knows? Anyway, guys, listen, well, look, if you are struggling with one part of your game, Jeff and I would definitely like to help you. The way we can do that is with a free coaching call. It's a private coaching call. And actually what we do is we take you through a little exercise about trying to help you identify really, all right, There are 4 different areas that you could work on, but let's find the one that we call the big domino, that if you really attack that thing, especially for the next 30 days, that the other little things in your game might become irrelevant. They might just kind of take care of themselves. So the way to get on that call is go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler where you can pick a date and time that works best for you. If you're already on our email list, guys, somewhere in there, can't remember exactly where, but there's a link. It says click here, and you'll get access to that. It doesn't say go run around the block 17 times and come back and click here. It says just do it right now, and you'll get access to the calendar scheduler. Jeff, what do we want fine folks to do right now at this point in time?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below.
Outstanding. Guys, as always, you got to get out there and help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeff, let's do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.